What's up, guys? This is MCBTV Halo here, and today I'm going to be giving you a completely new tutorial on how to make a side-scrolling platform shooter. Now, this isn't going to be top-down. This is going to be, on the side, platformer, all that good stuff. I haven't really seen any good tutorials on how to make kind of platform shooters like this. Thank God that I'm actually starting to make one that a whole lot of people would probably suggest. So I decided to make a tutorial about it just in case if there's anybody out there that wants to make something like what I did here. And so let's get started. And I'm going to start off small and simple, the player. Alright, so obviously, we'll just start from the beginning here. You have your GameMaker open, and what you'll need to start off with the player will be a sprite left. So there's the Master Chief sprite left. Sprite right, and this is when he's just standing. So you'll need a stand left and a stand right. You'll need a run left, a run right, a fall right, and a fall left. Oh, and a and a jump right, jump left, crouch right, and crouch left. Now there's a lot of sprites for just one player, but he's going to be doing multiple actions. So that's why you'll need all these different sprites. So obviously, once you get all your main sprites, in the object tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to crouch and jump and look in both directions. Like if you press the left button and you let go of the left button, he stays left. It doesn't immediately go to right. So it's a little nifty thing to have there, kind of like one of the Sonic Mario things. So you create an object and create it called object player. You can call it whatever you want, but I just keep mine object player, keep it simple, all that good stuff. Okay, so here's my object player. As you can tell, there's a whole lot of events that are going on here. But you start off with your create event, and you want to set two variables. The first variable you want to set is to set the variable right to equal true. Now this basically means that as soon as you put this object in here, that he's facing right. That's the first thing that happens. So you keep it to self. You don't turn on relative or anything. You just, yeah. And then the next variable, you want to set that key is pressed to false. And basically what that means is as soon as you start the game, no key is being pressed. And that's obvious because you just press the start button. You're not automatically pressing onto the left button or the up button or whatever. So as soon as you start the game, key is pressed is false. And that's health bar right there, but I'll explain that later. Okay, so now you want to make a step event. This is going to be where you're going to set the gravity for your player. So you start off with a start block, and then you go to a check empty, and you want to put that in there. And then in your check empty, you want to set x to 0, y to 1, and the objects to only solid. And you do want to turn on relative. Relative is checked. And basically this means, it's checking the coordinates for x0, y1. And then you're going to set the gravity to direction 270, and I set my gravity to 0.5. You can set whatever kind of gravity you want for your player, and you do not turn on relative. And then you put an else, and then you put set gravity to 270, and gravity is to 0. Relative is not turned on here. And then you want to go to a test variable and put if v speed, and that means vertical speed, is larger than 12. Then you want to set your vertical speed to 12. And then you end the block. Now, after that, you want to put if v speed is larger than 12, this is a test variable, you're going to start a block. And then this is basically when he's falling. So, if v speed is larger than 12, you start a block. Then you put if right is equal to true. This is a test variable. So he's going to check while he's falling if he's facing right. And if he is facing right, then you're going to do a change sprite to your player fall right. Sum image 0, speed 1, because I didn't really set any falling animation. If you do want to set a falling animation, you set the sub image to -1. But that's only if you have a falling animation. If you don't, then you just set it to 0 because that basically sets on a still image, and the speed is 1 because that's just how many images there is. So that's the speed. Else you want to change to fall left. So simple enough. And then you end the block. So there's your step event. And now you want to go to you want to create a wall object, and it could just be like a black box or whatever you have. And basically you're going to set, if he collides with the wall, you're going to set the vertical speed to 0. And now here comes the fun part. So you're going to set a variable, test variable, not set a variable, sorry. You're going to set a test variable to see if key is pressed is equal to true. And if it is, then you're going to check if right is equal to true. And this is a test variable. So you're going to do a start block. Then you're going to do if right is equal to true. Then you're going to have your run right. Sum image 0 and speed at whatever speed you want it. And I set mine to 0.5 because that's going half the speed of whatever my sprite's going. So it just seemed perfect for me there. Else, you'll change to run left at speed 0.5. Else, so you're going to end the block and then you're going to say else again. If right is equal to true, test variable, he'll change into just facing right at sub image 0 and speed 1. Else, he'll change into left, sub image 0, speed 1. So there is your object wall. Even though it's a wall, you got all these, and it's basically shows the direction. And I'll do all these later. So now you have your up key. And all you have to do for this event is you're going to be your add event, keyboard, and up. So now, since you have your up event, you want to add a check collision event. Or action, sorry, not event. Check collision if 0, x is 0, and y is 1. Only solid and relative is checked. You're going to set your vertical speed to a -10. Now, like I said, you can also modify whatever is right for you here, but mine for this example is a -10. And then you're going to check test variable if right is equal to true. Then you're going to change your sprite to jump right. And like I said, you can have a jumping animation. So you just set that subimage to -1 and whatever kind of speed you want your sprite to be running. So you're going to change it to a jump right, and then you're going to do an else, then you're going to change it to jump left. And then those are just modified little keys that I made there. That's like, if you use to save the game, you press the R key, it'll restart the room. You press the N key, it goes to the next room. And the M key, stop sound. Okay, now here's basically when you're going to get your movement. So I'm going to do movement. I'll do space shooting in the next video. So basically you want to add an event where it's press left. So you go to key press and then the left button. Then you're going to set the variable. You're going to do a set variable to key is pressed to true. And that basically means when you press left, it says, oh, there's a key pressed. And you're going to set the variable right is false. Right is false. It's left. That means he's not facing right. Duh. And then you're going to set the horizontal speed to a -5. And this is how fast he's going to be moving in that direction. Now you want to make sure that it's a negative because he's facing left, because if you think of a grid, the negative x coordinates are going left. The positive x coordinates are going right. So you want to make sure that you want to add a negative in front of your number whenever you're going left, because that shows that he's going in that direction. And you want to change your sprite into run left. Oops. Run left. And set your sum image 0 and speed to whatever you want. And you want to do the same thing for press right. You set key is pressed to true, But this time you set right to true because he's facing right, or that's the button that you pressed, so he's going right. Make sure you set your horizontal speed to a positive number here because he's going on the positive x coordinate. And then you want to change your sprite to a run right, to a speed to whatever. And now, let's might as well just go ahead and add crouching in here. So you remember when I made the chief crouch left and right? Well, basically when you press the down button, you want to set your horizontal speed to 0, and this is for crouching. And you check if right is equal to true. It's a test variable. You want to do a change sprite to crouch right, sub image 1 speed 0. That basically means that he's just going to play one image and stop. Else, you change to chief crouch left. And this is when you press the down arrow key. And you could set whatever kind of button you want, like it could be WASD or whatever buttons you want to choose, like the numlock or something, I don't know. So anyway, that's the press down. So this is when he's crouching. So when you press, you know, whatever button you're going to be pressing down with when he's crouching, that's what it's going to be. And now, this is what's going to happen when you release those certain actions. So when you release left, that's going to be your next event, release the left. Set variable key is pressed to false. That means that you released it, so the key is not being pressed anymore. You want to set your horizontal speed to 0 because you don't want them to continue moving while you let go of the button, because that wouldn't make sense. And you want to change your sprite, since we're doing release left, you want to change him to player left. Sub image 0, speed 1. So that means he's stopped. Alright, release right event. Same thing, you want to set your variable to key is pressed to false, not relative. Set the horizontal speed to 0. And you want to do a chief right, or your player right. Sub image 0, speed 1. And now, this is crouching. So when you release your down button, that's what I have for my crouch. So whenever you release the button that you have for crouching, you want to check test variable if right is equal to true. Then you want to change your sprite to player right, sub image 0, speed 1. Else, change him to stand left. Alright, and then basically, when you got all that down, I'm going to play it here. It should just be simple left, right, up, down. Simple enough. So you'll have your basic side scroller playing whatever. You basically have your simple side scroller. And you want to make sure that you add a room too. So you add the room in, and after you've added the room, you just put that object in that room, which, ignore that. So basically this is what you'll have. Simple left, right, and you should have an up, and then when you press the down button, you can do crouches, so you can you can teabag and all that. But this should be like what you basically have, and I'll go over how to have your health bar over your head and how to shoot, and I'll also go how to shoot while crouching and how to have a score and all that. So actually, let me go back to here, and this is just in case you don't know how to add an object to the room. So you want to go to room, you add a room, and for your room here, you just go to object and just do object player and just pop it in there, and there you go. So that's your basic little mechanic for your player there, and I'll be making more videos on continuing on this tutorial on different types of stuff like how to make bosses and how to make enemies. So yeah, so that's all I have for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys later in the next video. Bye guys.